My wife left me and the kids all took her side. Now the kids are trying to reconnect, but I told them to keep that same energy. Okay, so to keep this as short as possible, I was married young and had 3 children with my ex-wife. When our oldest was 10, my ex had an affair and we separated. We obviously didn't tell the kids why we were divorced, but the kids seemed to resent only me for it. In hindsight, keeping it from them was a mistake, but hindsight is 20/20 and it no longer matters. As they got older, my relationship with them got worse and worse, and by the time my youngest was 17, they had mostly stopped talking to me other than to degrade me. I wanted to tell the kids at one point or another, but my ex threatened to make life very difficult for me and my mother if I did, and she was in a position where she really could have. After being ignored completely for about 2 years and ending up in the hospital due to an overdose attempt, my boss, who was a friend long before he was my boss, offered me a position at a different location across the country. I was at my lowest, my kids hated me, and so I decided this may help me restart my life. It's been wonderful. I met my current wife 10 months after I moved here and now have 2 kids with her. She helped pull me out of severe depression and put me back together again. I firmly believe she saved my life. I haven't heard a peep from my kids for over a decade and told my mother, who they still saw until her passing long ago, that I didn't want any more updates about them after my middle daughter got married, and it sent me into a spiral. So I have no idea what they're doing, if they're married, if they have kids, etc., and I don't want to. After so many years, I've finally moved on from that life 100%. So the whole reason for this post is because I got a call from that area code and answered it before thinking. All I heard was "Dad?" Before I panicked and said, "Sorry, you must have the wrong number," and hung up. They tried to call back, but I blocked the number after not answering. I'm positive it was one of my daughters. I don't know what they want and I don't care to find out either. I'm probably an asshole, but I feel like I need an outside perspective. I'm kind of freaking out a little because I just want to be left alone. Update: I called my uncle and found out it was my oldest daughter trying to get in touch. My therapist made an opening for me Monday and I've called my boss to take that day off. I'm just going to write down everything I can think of, and my therapist and wife are going to help with that. I think emails are the way to go for now. A big concern I have is my young kids. I don't want them to foster a relationship with someone who might pull the rug out from under them, but I'll discuss that Monday with my therapist. Honestly, that's really it for now. I've gained a lot of different perspectives and it's been helpful, but a bit overwhelming too. I guess I'll update later, but I feel this needs to be a very slow process and I still don't know why she's trying to contact me yet. I did unblock that number long enough to tell her I'll send an email address later, but just doing that was really hard. My wife actually typed it for me. Also, I noticed some people thought I was on drugs, but the only drugs I ever took was that one time I tried to end it. And I didn't move until my youngest was 19 and oldest was 24, which was 2 years after our last communication of any kind. I know I cut off ties with them, but I feel like they abandoned me first by choosing their mom's side without knowing the full story. Hope that clears up any misunderstanding.